Hello, hello. We are live. Hopefully you guys have had a good weekend so far. Mine's gone pretty well. Let me make sure that my music's not too terribly loud. Although I may just need to turn down my voice meter. We could do that. I think that'll work a little bit better than just turning down the music. Especially since I think it's already pretty quiet on stream side, but I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will let me know. Alright, so we're out here in the Troll Shaws once more. We are working on getting our book 4 done now. We just picked up chapter, which one was it? Chapter 6. So we'll be able to actually go forward and do some more of that. Let's actually... We'll run there manually, just so we can see if there's any additional quests that we can do on the way there. Anything that might be worthwhile. I don't know if there will be anything, but we can always look. Now, I don't have my coffee this morning, so at some point, probably in like an hour or so, I may need to go get some. But for now, we're good to go. I have quite a bit of stuff to do later today. I need to make sure that I get most of the apartment cleaned up, and then I also need to make sure that I can start the cake for my partner's birthday. So I still need heavy whipping cream as well as some strawberries and more eggs for that endeavor. So I'll need to go to the grocery store pretty shortly after I end stream. I'm making a tres leches cake, so it's going to need quite a bit of eggs, quite a bit of milk. But all the same, it will be a delicious dessert. I'm not sure if anybody's actually made tres leches cake by hand before, but it is kind of ridiculous. It needs like 10 egg whites, and then you need like 10 egg yolks. Just an entire set, almost an entire dozen eggs. You need so much milk, so much sweetened condensed milk, so much evaporated milk, so much whole milk. There's a lot that goes into it, but it's really, really good. I don't know about the stone crawlers. Yeah, that person's on a quest for the stone crawlers. I'm not gonna bother with it. I'm gonna do the bear quest though. That's what we're gonna do. I'd have to say that if of all of the cakes that I've made, the tres leches cake is probably the hardest one to make. Mostly due to the fact that it takes a lot of mixing, and I don't have a hand mixer. Which you may be thinking in your head, that seems stupid, why don't you have a hand mixer? But I don't have a hand mixer. And because I don't have a hand mixer, I have to beat the egg whites into a meringue by hand, which if you've ever done that is a lot of work. It is so much work, it's very time consuming. Panther, can you figure out like where you're sitting, dude? There we go. I think that's like 2k XP, or maybe it's 4 since I have the double XP going on right now. We will find out. I know at some point I'll have to transfer a lot of these crafting mats over to my forester so that he can start making brushed leather. What it do, homie? It was 4,500 XP because of the double XP. Hell yeah. I wasn't going to do the rockworms, and I don't think I'm going to. What I do, however, want to do is probably head over to, what is that, High Moor? Let's go to High Moor, and then we will work on doing those dailies over there. Hopefully, anyway. I know I did some last night, so I'm not actually sure if they're going to be available for me to do, but we will determine that when we get there. Man, I'm so excited. Oh, man. So, on Friday this weekend... Oh, excuse me. On Friday this weekend, me and my guild were actually able to finish out March on Quel Denas with the Midnight Falls raid, where we killed, or not Midnight Falls, but the Midnight Falls boss, where we killed Lura on heroic difficulty finally. And so that's been huge, and it's such a cool and fun fight, and we almost didn't make it. It was such a cinematic end. It was so cool. I actually posted like an edited version of it to my YouTube. I'm so happy with it. So happy with the kill. We will have to go back next week to get one remaining guildie. Why is my mouse doing that? That's crazy. We need to get one remaining guildie, her AOTC, but once we do that, we will be finished with Lura, with all of the Dream Rift, the Void Spire, the March on Quel Denas. We'll be done with it all, which I'm very, very pleased with. Let me see. There we go. I was checking on a message of mine. I'm very, very pleased with it. And the fight was so fun. It's nuts to watch back, because it's always like, at the time you don't really notice how hectic it is. And especially once you get really, really used to the dance of the mechanics and stuff, like you start doing very well and you start doing things just as it happens, as opposed to like trying to constantly watch out for things. And so it becomes a little bit of a dance, and once you get that point, it stops feeling very hectic, and then whenever you watch it back, you're like, oh my god, we did all of this stuff? That's so hectic, what the hell? Now, it looks like I'm dropping frames. Not overly sure what's going on here. I may need to restart stream if it keeps going. Not sure what's going on at all. Let me see if I close out of some of my programs, if that'll help out. It might not, but it might. That didn't seem to fix it. My bitrate is atrocious right now. I wish I knew how to determine what to fix there. We're just hanging out for a moment to see if it stabilizes. If it doesn't, then I'll need to restart the stream and then we'll figure it out from there. Yeah, it just keeps going up. I'm gonna restart the stream. One moment.